Hello Super Sentai fans and welcome back to Toku Topics. Today there's something in particular that I wanted to talk about, and that is Sentai Gears. One of my favorite Sentai toy lines are Sentai gimmick items that we've had in a lot of years. I think Sentai gimmick items have been pretty hit or miss. Sometimes I think Bandai just doesn't support them as enough as I think that they should. And I don't think there's ever been a gimmick as good as Sentai Gears since the Judenchi, possibly. I think those were a pretty successful gimmick. I'm a fan of those quite a bit. But of course, if you know me, my favorite Sentai gimmick of all time is Ranger keys, and I don't think anything will ever be able to come as close as those are to being such a special thing to me. But you know what's come pretty close so far? These little things right here. Sentai Gears are pretty fun, and the fact that they are going to be continuing them for another year with the Donbrothers toy line that we have now been officially confirmed to be happening due to the different toy leaks and toy listings that are already up for pre-order. We know we're getting more of these bad boys next year, but I think there's still a good amount that Sentai could bring us, or Bandai could give us, that I would like to see them make. So today I wanted to break down some of the missing Sentai gears, the gears that I think should have been released already, or I think would be good candidates for Bandai to reuse some molds and get some more money out of people like me. So let's go ahead and talk all about it. Man, look at all those gears. That's what it looks like when you have a full set of every released gear for the most part. And I want more. I want more of these things. And I think there's some pretty cool ones that Sentai and Bandai could give us. And I think, first of all, this is obviously like some low-hanging fruit, some easy pickings here. The the missing gears that we do not have an official way to unlock from in the gear cleaner. There are still 5 Sentai gear sounds that we need gears to officially unlock. What are they? Number 1 is New Hero Number 2. Now, if you don't know what I mean by New Hero Number 2, or what I mean by New Hero Number 1, and that is the fact that the gear cleaner has 2 sounds programmed into it for a new hero. One of which ended up being unlocked by using the Toku gear, just any version of his gear, because they don't actually have a sound for Toku programmed into the gear cleaner. There is one programmed into the Deleaner, of course, because that's his, and also even the Gear Toadleaner has a sound in there for him, but to the original gear cleaner just has him designated as a new hero. However, there is a second gear combination that can unlock this new hero sound, and it has been speculated, and this is a highly probable scenario, that the brand new Red Ranger gear that we are going to be getting with the new bike mecha for our new Red Ranger for Donbrothers, since it has been confirmed that he will be using a Sentai gear to transform as well, pretty good chance that that one will be our new hero number 2. A lot of people, including myself, thought that Stay Caesar's gear would be the one unlocking this special new hero sound, but as it turns out, it has its own unique gear combination teeth on it that has nothing to do with the ones that the gear cleaner can use. So it's kind of its own special hybrid combination of Zenkaigers and Tokaigers to make its own new thing. Even having a new gear number on the back, which kind of blew our minds when we first saw it. So that's not the one unlocking new hero number 2. Next up is the movie edition Zenkaiger gear. So there's a sound for a movie version Zenkaiger gear in there, which I thought would be released whenever we got a Zenkaiger movie, which we did, but we didn't get in a typical Sentai movie fashion. We got a Zenkaiger movie as part of Super Sentai Movie Ranger 2021, which was kind of a bonus episode kind of thing, when we got alongside the official Kira Major movie in one of those special Ryusoulger films. So we haven't technically had our proper Zenkaiger movie yet. A one that we'd have as a double billing with a Sentai movie that would give us a Sentai and a Rider gimmick. We didn't really get that this year because Saber didn't necessarily have its own designated movie in 2021. We just kind of got it, kind of thrown in at the end along with the 01 movie last year because of all pandemic stuff. So I think it's highly likely that we could see a Movie Ranger 2022. I could easily see another trilogy of films being a Donbrothers movie, an official Zenkaiger movie, maybe some kind of little Kira Major film to kind of maybe continue or finish up the plot lines of the Yodana specials from the Toy Tokusatsu fan club channel. So if that ends up happening, it would not surprise me if we got some kind of movie version Zenkaiger gear finally there, especially since Donbrothers will also be using, Sentai gears. It could even be some kind of special gear that has our new Red Ranger and Zenkaiger on it or something. Kind of like the Tudai Hero gear where it has Zenkaiger and Kamen Rider Saber on it to represent superhero time. I could see some kind of gear sort of like that to represent our new superhero time, or kind of our passing the torch, as it says. So I could definitely see that happening to potentially give us that sound. The next one of the yet to be released unlocked sounds so far is Special, which is just one of those typical Bandai gimmick sounds programmed into a toy. I can't even tell you how many different Toku devices have a special sound programmed in there. If you don't know what sound to give it, you give it the special sound. And to be honest, I thought we were about to get it. I thought this gear, the Super Sentai Tamashi Zembo, whatever this is called, I thought this was going to be the special sound, but it ended up being just another way to get the all red sound. I think that would have been a missed opportunity here, and I'm still surprised we don't have an actual special gear sound yet. That could really go to anybody, and I still think that it could happen. Probably, I assume it will be some kind of variation of Zenkaiger, or something, like that. Or maybe a gear that has all the Zenkaigers on it or something like that, something like that. So I think Special is a very just weird one. I would expect it to be something like a Telebukun pack-in or maybe some kind of promotional thing, but I could easily see that it's still happening as well, and it's just one of those ones that it's like, why haven't you checked it off the list, I want to see it. The final two gear sounds that we have yet to actually get a toy to unlock for, we've actually seen being used on screen, which is why it's so strange that we don't actually have official toys of them yet. And the first of all is Zenkai Red, or the Zenkaiger sound. There is a sound for just Zenkaiger, just the season name, and it was actually used on screen in the specials, including Zenkai Red. His gear actually was an all-red version of the Zenkaiger gear, more or less, but it actually unlocked the sound Zenkaiger. So what's really interesting is the fact that we don't have a gear for him yet. We don't have a toy of that gear. We've seen it on screen, we've seen a Ranger, we've heard the sound, we know exactly what it would do, and the toy is capable of doing it, but we haven't got it. I thought it was going to be a perfect pack-in item with the Blu-ray release of the Zenkai Red Special, but here we are, and we don't have it yet. Which is why I think that I feel like the most likely opportunity for this one, if they don't just throw it into a magazine, would be some kind of special premium Bandai set with the next gear I want to talk about, and that is Akiba Ranger. The good old unofficial official Sentai, because, it's an official production, but it's unofficial Sentai. That's, classic adult-ish show of Sentai, which is a really fun series. Actually finally got referenced again over the summer when the team appeared in the superhero Senki film. But not only did they appear in a cameo appearance in the film, they got a gear to have them show up. So the only way that we've been able to see this gear is thanks to a list of gears in one of the Telebukun magazine issues we got over the summer. So we do know exactly what it would look like, and just like Zenkai Red, there already is a program sound in there, in the gear cleaner, for it to happen. Which is kind of like what we did when we got to the Akiba Ranger key set, where they did release Akiba Rangers in a gimmick line, but those ones were, as a joke, they were specifically made to have the key pieces be too thick to fit into any of the Mobirettes. So they were unfunctional, unofficial Ranger keys. But there's no reason why we couldn't get a gear here that would actually be functionable, since it did appear on screen like that. And so I feel like since we have those two gears, Zenkai Red and Akiba Ranger, that we're just missing toy releases for, I feel like those could be perfect candidates for some kind of premium Bandai set, and maybe that's how we would get the special gear. And now those are all the gears that would unlock sounds. I have a lot of ideas for some gears, and Bandai, if you're listening, go ahead and take some notes. I have some ideas for some gears that they don't have to make in any capacity, but if they really want to milk these gears toy line for another year, might as well do it. Let's knock him out. Let's look at him. Give Gokaiger a gear. Now, he doesn't transform with a gear from what we can see. Perhaps if maybe he potentially turns good or something, we could maybe see him turn into into the armor using using a gear or something, I think that could happen, and maybe we could get some kind of special gear of that. Maybe that could be special, or it could be just a reuse of the Zenkaiger sound. There's a lot that we can play around with in the gear cleaner to make new gears up and stuff like that, like this one. I think this is a perfect example of how we can reuse a sound, because I don't think this was ever planned, necessarily, to reuse this sound, because obviously it has the artwork from Zenkai Canon and stuff like that, and we got it to reuse a sound. So I think we could possibly see something like that for Gokaiger if they wanted to go that route. Or, when I was thinking of Gokaiger, I was also thinking of what he's loosely based off of, and that is Ninja Captor. We've never really seen any Ninja Captor official recognition in Sentai merchandise ever. They never got a Ranger key set, which I'm totally down for that too. They were never acknowledged in Gokaiger or anything like that, and Zenkaiger only really seems to be referencing them in Gokaiger's design only. but I think that would be a kind of a fun, obscure Sentai to throw into a set, maybe in a set with Akiba Ranger or something. Just do like obscure Sentais or different versions of Sentais. And that's kind of where this list has come from, you know, my potential idea list for them, including things like Kyoryuger Brave. Why not? You can pretty much just take the Kyoryuger gear we already have, maybe make it a different color, but include some kind of distinction to actually have it be Brave Kyoryu Red on the gear. You could still even have it say 37. You could still have it be the Kyoryuger sound. Now, it wouldn't say Brave afterward, but I think that would be passable. I think that would be good enough to unlock that sound, so why not? Ninja Captor, Kyoryuger Brave, Big One. Why Big One? Well, he was the leader of the Dream Sentai from Ranger vs. Super Sentai, so technically, and he is a leader of JACA, so, you know, he's like a leader, a Red Ranger of his own team, in a way, so why not give him a special gear? You could have it use the JACA sound again. He would go great with the, you know, pre-existing Go Ranger gears that are Aka Ranger based, since they're kind of the two, like, figureheads or leaders that you associate the most with early Super Sentai, especially things like in the Legend War. I think of the two of them coming to the aid of the Gokaigers. So I think that would be really cool, you know, if we got some kind of Big One gear. Maybe we'd have it look like the metallic rare Gashapon ones and kind of have a rainbowy effect since he has the rainbow on his suit and stuff like that. How about Aka Red? Kind of the same situation as I, you know, made up for this Big One justification, but Aka Red I think is more than deserving. He appears every 5 years for anniversaries, except for this year. He appeared in the 30th anniversary, the 35th, the 40th. We didn't get him in the 45th, so why not give him a Sentai gear? You know, maybe he could still appear in Zenkaiger for all we know. And I think it would also work too, because you could probably have it just say, like, this could be the special gear too. I think there's a lot of candidates for the special gear, but you could have it say special on it, or you could have it be the Sentai logo on there, or SS or something like that for Super Sentai. And also, since these are kind of a, you know, a side profile shot like this way up, which is probably going to be flipped this way if I'm trying to make it look right in the camera, you wouldn't have to see much of the chest, so you wouldn't have to decide if it said 30 or 35 or 40 on there. It wouldn't matter. I think it would work. Why not? Give us an Aka Red gear, especially with it also the fact that we have, you know, the all red special edition gears. I think that would work. And speaking of those all red gears, you know, aside from them just releasing all of the other super red versions that we never got, since we only got a handful of those gears in that kind of style, I think there's a couple Sentai that are very deserving to get one. I think the top candidate for me would be Gokaiger. I always assumed that this was to be some kind of relation to the 10 Gokaiger film coming out here really soon. I thought maybe they were saving it to be some kind of tie-in to that, and they still very well might be. Which is why I'm just kind of surprised we don't have a gear for an all-red Gokaiger. And it would still not surprise me if we got it in some kind of last-minute Telebukun pack-in, either during Donbrothers or like right at the end of Zenkaiger, just to promote the film. Maybe we get it in like the March Telebukun, since 10 Gokaiger with the full Blu-ray with the special Galleon key comes out in March of 2022. Maybe we could get something like that around the same time to tie into it. It would be easy, same mold, you just had to make it red. And I think that really we could get any Super Red versions of any of the Sentai that we did not get that version of, because not only did they complete the full regular set of Sentai Gears, they completed the full Dark set of Sentai Gears as well. So I think that, I don't know if I really necessarily need them to complete all the Super Reds, but they were a fun enough gimmick and a fun enough version of the gimmick that I'd buy a couple more, sure. And guys, that's going to do it for kind of my want list, or my kind of like prediction list of Sentai Gears we could still possibly get. Obviously, Bandai's going to come up with their wacky methods. They're probably going to release this all-red gear a third time or something, and they're going to probably release Zenkaiger, but now it's blue or something. Who knows? There's a lot of potential possibilities that they could still continue to milk out of the Sentai Gear toy line, especially as it's going to continue in some form. We know that they are not going to necessarily be the same type of gears. They're supposed to look a little bit different during Donbrothers, and we've yet to see how that's going to look yet. But like I did earlier this week with my other Donbrothers related videos, I'm going to leave a link in the description below for you to pre-order the first Gashapon and Candy Toy set of these new versions of gears for the Donbrothers toy lines, thanks to Toku Collectibles, who have them up for pre-order right now. Once again, not sponsored, just really like the store. And I would love to hear from you guys down below. What versions of Sentai Gears do you still want them to make? Are there ones that you hope that we do get? Do you think that they will release a gear for every sound that's in the Gear Leaner, since they are pretty close to that? And anything else you want to say about Zenkaiger, Sentai Gears, Gokaiger, Ranger Keys, or Donbrothers? Let's just talk, you know? And thank you all for watching. Until next time, you can follow me on Twitter at LiveRangerKey or at LightningTwigPR. Zenroku Zenkai.